Okay, so for this first project, I am just using one of these willow wreath forms, and this is a super easy project. I'm just going to do this. I grabbed a bunch of these beautiful florals from Dollar Tree. Like, holy cow, I never get to find these things. This is called greenery bouquet. Look how stinking pretty. Like, it's just, everything about it is super pretty. So I picked up a bunch of those. I picked up all that they had, which was like 10. So I got 10 of those. I think I'm probably going to use like 7. And then I had some of these left over from last year. I actually think I got these. Yeah, these are the berry mix from Walmart. So these were from last year, but I believe I saw them again this year. And if I go back, I will probably pick up some more because they're super cute. And then the only other thing I'm going to use is probably this floral tape. I'm going to try this stuff out. Although it's been there for a while. I wonder if it goes bad. Anyway. And maybe some hot glue if this floral tape doesn't work, but we'll try it out. So I'm literally just going to put these, I'm gonna tack these on like this. I kind of want it to look, I want it to look like a wildflower wreath. So I'm just going to kind of pin these on here and there, and then like every few I'll have one of these ones. But I'm just gonna overlap them a little bit so you can't see the stems. And I'm gonna see how it turns out. So I had one of these wreath, I believe they're called wreath hangers from Dollar Tree, and I just painted over it in white. I had this really nice thought that did not turn out as I expected. I will show you my fail, and then I will show you what I did instead. So basically I took some leaves in my yard, and as you can see, my plants are not very decorative. So when I had this idea to stamp leaves on there, my leaves are just these teeny tiny things from a bush in my backyard, and they did not add the dimension and texture that I was hoping for. Sorry, it's really windy outside, so I think my trash cans just blew over. Anyway, so I tried really hard to get this cool texture thing. It didn't work out. And then I remembered that I had these ornaments, these wood slice ornaments left over from Christmas. So I just decided to use that instead. And I think it turned out better. I think it turned out a little more natural and cute. So I picked up this ribbon from Michael's during Christmas time, and I thought the color and the pattern really went well with the floral arrangement, so I am going ahead and using that. And what I'm doing is folding the ribbon in half and pushing it through the front of the decoration. And then I'm going to tie a little tiny loop in the back, and then I'm pulling it forward and making the bow, and then I'll cut it off, and I'm going to use that little loop in the back to help me secure the plaque to the wreath using floral wire. This next DIY is super duper simple, but it's just super cute. I took 3 of these votive holders from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna show you what I did to use or reuse some succulent votives that I had from a project that I did last year, and I've been having them sit around and I've been trying to figure out something to do with them. So the first attempt was a fail, and the second attempt was beautiful. So here I am trying to test both out, thinking I am just so awesome because I'm gonna have these 2 really cool little candle holders, and then reality set in and I quickly realized that that is not going to work. The little filler rocks completely disappear, and it's just not happening. And truth be told, I really don't know why I thought it would turn out any other way, because gravity, yeah. I'm not stupid, I promise. So I emptied out that sand as much as I could and filtered out the rocks and started over. This time with the sand on the bottom, as it should be. So I filled it about 1/3 of the way and then added my votive candle, which I soon realized with the filler rocks is just not, the filler rocks wouldn't really have a place to wedge themselves in the side there. So I took a little knife and I cut it all apart. And this part was actually pretty fun and therapeutic. I like cutting candles. Just cut it down so that there was room for the filler rocks to go all the way around and that it would be easy to lay them in there. And then I'm just going to add the filler rocks around the candle, and that's all there is to it. It is super simple, super fun. Once I realized and drew out all the kinks, it was perfect. And this is actually super cute, and my daughter really likes it, and she cannot wait to light those candles. She asks me every day. And I kind of don't want to because they're super cute candles. And just in case you enjoyed that as much as I did, here's some more candle shaving for you. Enjoy. And because I was really feeling the wreath vibe, I had another one of these willow wreaths from Dollar Tree, and I decided to make something of it. This one's a little wonky. It's more of an oval than a circle, but I'm gonna make it work. So I was inspired by a wreath I saw in, I want to say it was a Michael's ad or maybe Joann's, but it was this really super cute wreath, and it had these peach flowers, and I happen to this have this bouquet of flowers left over from an arrangement where the glass broke, and it was one of those arrangements where the flowers are all stuck in the fake water, and the vase broke, so I just chopped off the flowers and kept them for this particular thing, apparently. And then those are some flowers from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to go along and see how I can maybe incorporate these two. Although when I got down to it, it kind of felt like the colors were drastically different shades. And so I wasn't really sure how this was going to turn out. However, I kept going. So I'm going to stop talking in a minute and just show you how I put this cute wreath together. But just know the greenery is mostly from Dollar Tree. They have some incredibly cute florals this year, and they are very nice quality, and I'm super picky. Like, I'm super, super picky. It is really hard for me to say that these florals look amazing from Dollar Tree because sometimes they look kind of wonky, but they are really doing something. And these spring floral bouquets and greenery and such, goodness gracious, Dollar Tree, keep bringing it on. It is amazing, and it is really exciting to craft with it, because who has the money to spend all this money on these florals? I don't, nor do I want to. I always feel guilty spending money on flowers, even though right now I'm in search for some really nice silk flowers, but I digress. Okay, and just one other thing. I hope you guys can hear this rain because I'm getting super excited and the Californian in me is coming out, because we never, I won't say never, hardly ever get rain, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful day. Okay, now this craft is super easy and simple. It's one that I wanted last year, and I've just been holding on to the thought because I still want it. So it's basically just one of those cute covered planters, like the burlap covered planters with lavender sticking out. However, the only lavender that I had on hand were one of these blooms from Walmart, and I don't have any other ones, nor did I want to go and search for some, so I'm just going with what I have around the house. Plus, I'm trying to use up my craft supplies because I have too much and I don't want to get rid of them because I kind of hoard them and I just don't want to. So I might as well use them up and see what I can do with them. Makes me more creative, right? Anyway, so I just am taking this. This is just some worn burlap. I think it is just a really thick ribbon that I had. Or maybe it was one of those. I don't think it was the table runner. It might have been that wrap of table runner, but I haven't. No, it's a roll from Hobby Lobby. It's a roll from Hobby Lobby. So basically, it's just a roll from their wreath. I think they're like wreath ribbon or something. So it's like a really thick, like 10-inch ribbon. Anyway, so as you can see, I just crisscrossed it and then gathered it at the top. And I'm just kind of bunching it around, and then I will hot glue it in place. And then I will add some more of that filler, the rock filler in the middle, and place the lavender inside there so that it has a little weight to it so it doesn't just tip over really super easily. That's it. And this is such a simple project, honestly, and I see them all over the stores and everybody wants like $15 for them at the least, and it's just too simple of a project for me to even give that a second thought of spending that type of money on something that is so inexpensively made and so easy to do, because this literally takes like 10 minutes tops. Oh yeah, and I incorporated that same cute ribbon that I told you I bought at Christmas time from Michael's, and just this, I'm really digging this really cute little black and white checkered pattern with the lavender colors and flowers. It just adds something special, so I think that'll be a little bit of something that I'll be adding little bits and pieces to around my house this spring. Just the combination makes me happy. What do you think? And I'm gonna warn you, this last project, I totally winged it the whole time, and it was it took a little bit of thought to get through it. So when I was at Michael's, they have these really cute baskets this year, right? They have so many cute baskets. I'm actually gonna try to recreate a couple of other ones, but I started with this one because I have these floral moss, or these moss sheets, and I had, I think, 2 or 3 of them. I didn't know what I was going to use them for. I bought them last year because I got all gung-ho about buying all the stuff at Dollar Tree, and I did not have a purpose for them, which I'm learning to not do that anymore. So they've just been sitting around. I've had literally no idea what to use them for, and I thought maybe I can glue them to the edges of here and make this basket. So I'm going to show you how I did this because it actually turned out really stinking cool. Here I am just trimming along the bottom to make sure it's got a flat bottom. Then I realized that I needed to cover the bottom. So this is where I took 2 of the pieces of the moss sheets, and I'm trying to make it as stable as possible. So I am gluing, I only had 3, right? So I'm just gluing them all together so I can try to get them to be as thick and stable as possible, because I would, prefer them not to flop, for it to be like a floppy handle. I don't want it to look cheap. I want it to look like it's sturdy, like, like it was not made by me. So while trying to figure out what I was going to do with the base, I realized that I had some nautical rope from another project. I decided I was going to use that as the base. So I glued it to the center, and then I'm going around, but I'm gluing not only the nautical rope to the nautical rope, but I would also carefully go along the wires to make sure that it is also adhering to the basket itself, but not in a sloppy way. And then after that was complete, I literally have a cup like a whole grocery bag full of different types of moss. So I took those pieces of moss and I cut them with my scissors so that they would be a lot smaller chunks. And then I just threw some hot glue on the surface of this basket, and then I would just pat on the pieces. And this worked out, I mean, as you can see, it worked out pretty nicely. And it wasn't like it was, I even shook it at the end. The pieces are not falling off. All the things that make it, make a project look kind of on the cheaper side. I also went, as you see, and I'm sorry, it is getting really rainy, so I'm going to start talking a little louder because I feel like I'm getting muted out. It's awesome. Anyway, Cali girl weather problems. Anyway, so I am going to go all the way, if you noticed, I went all the way up to the edge, and I even went like on the edge, just because I don't want you to see the edges. I don't want anybody that sees this basket to like walk up to it and then see that it is just cut moss sheets. So I'm just being very careful to just like fill in all the pieces that might give away that it's a handmade item. You'll see that I took some nautical rope and I just kind of laid it over to see, kind of give myself an idea of what it might look like, but it was way too thick. There's no way that that was going to work. It would have looked like I was just gluing on a piece of nautical rope. So I ended up going with the jute string. My goodness. So I ended up going with the jute string that I get from Walmart. It is a thicker jute string, and it is just such a good quality, but it also has the same color of a similar color to the nautical rope, so it was going to blend in well. It also is just such a high quality jute string that I just love to use it. If you've noticed, sometimes when you buy the thinner jute string, sometimes it's thinner in some areas and thicker in some areas, and sometimes that drives me bonkers. So here I am just clipping the jute string to a clay pot so that I will have something to hold the jute string while I braid it. And I'm going to make 2. I measured and cut off the braid at the proper length, and then I'm going to hot glue that end as well so that it is also fused together. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the basket. I didn't want the edges of the basket to show past the 2 pieces of the 2 braids, so I just decided to kind of trim it and make it so that it's not showing and sticking out of the edges. and then I'm just hot gluing it in place. So now is just a final detail to just kind of pull the pieces together. I'm just taking some more of that jute string and I'm making just a very basic knot bow, and then I will glue that in place. I really hope you enjoyed these creations. It took me a while to get things out to you guys, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to stay more consistent in getting videos out, but I have a lot on my plate right now, so I'm just trying my hardest to get these out at least once a week. I'm going to try a little harder starting this week, so hopefully I can stay on top of things. It's a little overwhelming at first, I gotta say, this YouTube thing. But I hope you enjoyed what I was able to create for you, and I hope it inspires you to do some super cute crafts around your house for spring. It is springtime, you guys. It is such a beautiful time. All the flowers are going to be showing soon, and it is going to be bright and joyous. Enjoy it. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate everyone who even gives me the time of day. You guys all rock. Have a great day.